Pahalgam, Kashmir, April 22, 2025. A day that began like any other, bathed in the serene beauty of the Himalayas. Tourists, both local and foreign, were enjoying the crisp mountain air. Laughter echoed through the valley. Then, everything changed. An explosion ripped through a popular marketplace. Screams pierced the air as chaos descended. The idyllic landscape was scarred with the blood of innocence. When the dust settled, 26 souls lay lifeless, including a child. A Nepali citizen, miles from home, caught in the crossfire. India pointed the finger directly at Pakistan, alleging their hand in the attack. Pakistan, as they have done so many times before, denied any involvement. But the damage was done. The fragile peace that had held for years, already strained to its breaking point, shattered completely. The drums of war, silent for too long, began to beat once more. India's response was swift and uncompromising. Code name, Operation Sindoor. The objective: dismantle terrorist infrastructure within Pakistan's borders. Indian Air Force jets screamed across the line of control, the disputed border dividing Kashmir. Targets included suspected training camps and logistical hubs in Kotli, Bahawalpur, Muzaffarabad, Bagh, and Muridka. India claimed their strikes were surgical, minimizing civilian casualties. They released grainy footage of buildings being reduced to rubble. The message was clear: India would no longer tolerate attacks on its soil. The narrative of restraint, carefully cultivated for years, evaporated in the heat of the moment. Pakistan denied the presence of any terrorist infrastructure within its borders, calling India's airstrikes a blatant act of aggression. Their response was not long in coming. Pakistan claimed to have shot down 2 Indian fighter jets near Bathinda and Aknur. Videos surfaced online, blurry and chaotic, purporting to show the wreckage of Indian aircraft. India denied these claims, stating that all their planes returned safely to base. The truth, lost somewhere in the fog of war and propaganda. What followed was a tense standoff, missile batteries on high alert, artillery exchanges across the line of control. The specter of a wider conflict loomed large. On paper, India holds a clear military advantage. Their defense budget dwarfs Pakistan's, $76 billion to $10.3 billion. They boast a larger standing army, a more advanced air force, and a sophisticated nuclear arsenal. India has bolstered its military capabilities in recent years. They acquired cutting-edge Rafale fighter jets from France, upgraded their tank fleet with T-90s and domestically produced Arjuns, and developed long-range Agni missiles capable of reaching any corner of Pakistan. Pakistan, however, has not been sitting idle. They've invested heavily in their own nuclear program, though questions remain about the reliability of their delivery systems. They've acquired J-10 fighter jets from China, upgraded their air defense systems, and deployed armed drones like the Bayraktar TB2. The numbers only tell part of the story. In the crucible of war, factors like training, morale, and logistics play a crucial role. And perhaps most importantly, the unpredictable wildcard of nuclear escalation hangs over any potential conflict. Section 5. The Abyss gazes back, imagining the unimaginable. A full-scale war between India and Pakistan would be a catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. Millions of lives hang in the balance. The potential for nuclear escalation is a terrifying reality. The consequences would reverberate far beyond the Indian subcontinent. The humanitarian cost would be staggering. Millions displaced from their homes. Hospitals and infrastructure overwhelmed. The use of nuclear weapons would unleash a humanitarian crisis on a scale never before seen. The environmental impact would be devastating. Nuclear detonations would release massive amounts of radiation into the atmosphere, poisoning the air and water. The resulting nuclear winter could plunge the entire planet into darkness, disrupting agriculture and leading to widespread famine. Section 6. A world asleep at the wheel, the failure of global diplomacy. The international community's response to the escalating tensions has been muted at best. The United Nations, paralyzed by internal divisions, has failed to take any meaningful action. World leaders have issued generic calls for restraint, but concrete steps to de-escalate the situation have been sorely lacking. The United States, preoccupied with its own internal problems, has taken a back seat. Former President Trump, in a characteristically insensitive tweet, called the situation a shame but offered no concrete solutions. The lack of effective international intervention is a damning indictment of the current global order. It highlights the impotence of international institutions and the unwillingness of world leaders to take decisive action to prevent a potential catastrophe. Section 7. Beyond the headlines, the human cost of conflict. Lost in the geopolitical chess game, the sterile statistics of military hardware are the human stories. The families torn apart, the dreams shattered, the lives forever scarred by the horrors of war. In a small village near the line of control, a young girl clutches a tattered photograph of her father, a soldier who never came home. In a bustling city hospital, a doctor struggles to save the life of a young boy, his tiny body riddled with shrapnel. These are the faces of war, the often forgotten victims of political ambition and historical grievances. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the true cost of conflict, a cost measured not in dollars or territory but in shattered lives and broken dreams. Section 8, The Weight of History, the Urgency of Now. The conflict between India and Pakistan is a tale as old as time itself. Rooted in the bloody partition of British India in 1947, fueled by territorial disputes, religious tensions and political opportunism. Generations have grown up in the shadow of this conflict, their lives shaped by its enduring legacy of mistrust and animosity. But the past does not have to dictate the future. The current crisis represents a pivotal moment, a fork in the road. One path leads to further escalation, potentially culminating in a nuclear nightmare. The other path, though fraught with difficulty, offers a glimmer of hope. A hope for dialogue, for reconciliation, for a future where the drums of war are silenced forever. Section 9. A plea for peace, choosing hope over hostility. The stakes have never been higher. The world watches with bated breath, hoping against hope that cooler heads will prevail. The only path forward lies in de-escalation, dialogue, and a commitment to finding a peaceful resolution. The international community must step up and play a constructive role. Sanctions and condemnations are not enough. What is needed is active diplomacy, mediation, and a genuine effort to address the root causes of the conflict. The leaders of India and Pakistan bear a tremendous responsibility. They have the power to choose peace over war, dialogue over destruction, hope over hostility. The fate of millions, perhaps billions, rests in their hands. Let history judge them kindly. Let them choose wisely.